how are you going? Look who I'm here with today.
Hi.
I'm with the lovely Molly. Me and Molly have made a bunch of videos, especially for beginners backpacking.
Yeah, solo travel.
And today we are going to be covering gap years, which is really exciting because I've never made a video on gap years before. Probably because I've never actually been on one, and to be fair, neither has Molly.
Gap life.
Literally. So Molly and I met in college. We were in the same maths class. I think we've mentioned that before. And then we both took gap years, which turned into gap lives. So what did you do in your first year after you left college?
My first passion was singing, so I pursued my performing career.
I remember that.
I did the necessary education, compulsory education.
Okay.
And then after A-levels, I got my taste of freedom, and I pursued that. So I was doing singing, I was doing auditions in girl bands, recording music, but I was so used to achieving at college.
Yeah.
I felt like as much as I was fun and having this freedom, I needed to do something. So towards the end of my first year out of college, I was like, I'm just gonna go travelling. I met a girl in Spain, and she was like, do you wanna go travelling? And I was like,
that is
all right.
so random.
Yeah, literally that was it. She came down to see me a couple of weeks after I met her. We booked a trip, we booked a flight, and 8 weeks later we met at the airport, and we did.
What?
It was really spontaneous.
That is really crazy, actually. And then did you know at that point, like, did you always know, oh, I'm not going to uni?
Yeah.
Yeah,
for me.
Did you have anything in mind of like how your career was going to pan out?
No, all I knew was that education, and like I am quite a perfectionist, and I put a lot of expectation on myself, and I'm a high achiever, but I just knew that it drove me a little bit crazy, to be honest, and going to uni was kind of going to be the same thing, but I'd have been 3 years down the line, and I just wanted to use those 3 years to find out what I actually did want to do.
I feel like I am so similar. I was like, I don't exactly know what I want to do, but I know that I don't want to go to uni because...
And our year was the year that the fees went up at uni, wasn't it? So that was like, at one, well, I don't know if I even ever considered it, but it confirmed it for me when the fees went up. They went from like 3,000 a year to like 10,000 a year.
I considered it mostly because my mum was encouraging me to go, because she's a careers advisor, and she was just really trying to make me open to the idea. She never forced me, of course, but yeah, she was like encouraging me, and as soon as the fees went up, I was just like,
it can be hard, especially if you're at an academic school like we were, and there is a lot of pressure, and the colleges get good results and good rankings if they send a lot of people to uni and they get good grades and stuff, so they want you to go, but it sometimes does take a certain kind of person and a certain confidence to be like, I'm doing me, I'm gonna go travelling, I'm gonna take some time out.
I pretty much did the same thing. Like, I didn't know where I wanted to go or what my career was going to look like, but I know I didn't want to go to uni, and so I left college. I saved up for 6 months and I went travelling for 6 months. It was mainly my sister who...
she lives in Australia.
She does, but she didn't at the time though, but she went on a gap year when she was 18, and just seeing her travels, I was like, oh my god, I want to do that. And also Instagram was just getting big at the time, and so that was my main reasons for wanting to go travelling, and then fell in love with it, and then I kind of just carried on saving and travelling. But obviously that's not going to be the case for everyone. I know a lot of you want to go on gap years and do some travelling, but then want to go to uni after, and that is completely fine, but I know a lot of you will be thinking, what the hell do I do with that 1 year?
There's a whole world to see and I don't know where to start.
Yeah, especially if you've never been anywhere before, you're like, I don't know where to go. And so, Molly and I today are putting ourselves in a hypothetical situation of having just finished college. We've got 1 year, and with the knowledge of all the travelling that we've done now, what would we do in that one gap year if we were going to be going to university after that? I don't know what Molly's going to say, and she doesn't know what I'm going to say, so I'm actually really interested to see what we've come up with, and then we're going to, compare afterwards. So Molly, what would you do if you had a gap year?
Okay, if I had a gap year, I guess my decisions are based on coming straight out of college, not having saved a lot of money, but just wanting to get straight out there and make the most of the time you have. So in that case, you want to make I would maybe want to work somewhere. So I would head to Australia and do my working holiday visa. Something I haven't actually done yet, but having travelled there 3 times now, I just think it's the best place to start your travels, to overcome any fears or anxiety you have about travelling, whether it's on your own or with people. It's very easy to travel Australia. It's very similar to the British culture in that people speak your language.
Not too far out from what you're used to.
Yeah, and you'll meet a lot of Europeans.
And you can easily do that solo as well, can't you?
It's a very easy first destination for a solo traveller, and incredible as well.
If you don't have any friends that want to go with you, what a better way to start your solo trip.
And so many people go to Australia to work and travel, so
common on your gap year.
You're just not going to be on your your own.
Yeah.
So I would do that. It's also obviously an incredible place to travel and experience things like the Great Barrier Reef, Fraser
So would
Island.
you work for, sort of do your whole year's working holiday visa just kind of staying in Australia and moving around?
Would probably. I've done the East Coast a couple of times now, 3 times, so I'm a massive fan of it. No, just saying, I really do value the East Coast activities and stuff, so I would definitely do that. It's a popular backpacking route anyway.
Yeah.
So I would probably start with Cairns.
Okay. So you'd fly straight into Cairns?
Oh, I don't know. No. I'd fly into Sydney.
Okay.
I'd fly into Sydney. And I'd probably start, because obviously I don't really have much money at this point.
Yeah.
I would probably
So would you save a bit of money just like, whilst
just
you
the
can
entry requirement.
Yeah, exactly.
coming
Yeah,
in.
yeah, like doing a part-time job
Yeah.
at college and stuff.
And then I'd probably do a job for a couple of months in Sydney, maybe work in a hostel and really set my sights on earning, meeting people, and being in an incredible first destination that is Sydney.
Yeah.
I would then, save up a bit of money, and I would do probably like 6 to 8 months in Australia.
Okay.
I've been on 3 tourist visas now, and it's just never enough. When you go to Australia, going for a couple of months sounds luxurious, but it's just never enough.
No.
There's so much to see.
It's a huge country.
Yeah.
Like, it's massive.
And expensive.
And expensive,
so
yes.
if you're not working,
You're not
kind
going
of
to
limited.
last. Yeah, you're not going to last very long.
Yeah, so I would work a bit, travel a bit, work a bit, travel a bit, go up the East Coast, also down to Melbourne and the Great Ocean Road. I've heard amazing things about Perth as well, so if I had time I'd probably do that, but I would give myself flexibility, because I think Australia, I wouldn't want it to be too itinerised. It's quite a nice place to just go with the flow, meet people, go with their adventures.
Would you book a one-way flight? Would you book a flexi flight? Or what do you reckon?
I would book, I've always booked through STA and done the kind of round the world trips. Yeah, so I would,
flexi flights are really good with SDA travel.
yeah, because you don't know how you're going to feel. You might love it,
No,
you might
yeah,
not.
yeah.
Like Australia, I absolutely love, but some people are like, not for me.
Yeah, exactly.
So you want to give yourself that flexibility and take off the pressure as well. So yeah, I would do that in Australia. A lot of people, when you're in Australia, they do go to Australia first because they want to save the money, they want to travel, and then they'll use the money that they saved and travel to the likes of Asia.
Yeah.
So I would probably do it in that order. I'd probably do Australia. If I wasn't feeling it, probably do New Zealand as well, and then use the money to, because it goes so much further in Asia, to get on the backpacking routes within Asia.
Okay, and then, so would you be away for that whole year, do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would leave in like September or?
Yeah, to go to Australia, I would leave probably October.
Okay.
So just before the peak season starts, I think you'll get a head start on the jobs and stuff as well.
Okay.
The weather's starting to warm up, and then the bit where you can really enjoy it is in the heat of the summer, which is like November to March.
Yes. Australian summer, we're both heading there so soon.
2 weeks.
I should have got 2 weeks, I got about 5. So not long.
No, it's an incredible place, and I definitely still something I want to do is get the holiday working visa and live and breathe Australia.
See, that's so interesting because mine is very similar. So it's a bit more specific. So I would save up money during college, like as much as I could, to do a working holiday visa in Australia. So they say to do an Australian working holiday visa that you need at least 5,000 Aussie dollars, which is about £3,000. So I'd save that up during college, doing.
Also, even applying for your visa, you have to have, what is it, £350?
It's about £300, yeah. So that costs money in itself.
So you want to prepare. If you want to make the most of your time, you want to prepare with money.
So I would be starting to prepare at least at the start of my second year of college. If not at the start of college, I would just be slowly saving, doing part-time jobs, like doing stuff that I can, because I would want to head to Australia probably in like end of July, August.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
controversial.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I would want to do my rural work as soon as I got there. Because the video that we filmed on Mollie's channel, we're talking about Australian working holiday visas, and I've said that my top tip is to do your rural work as soon as you arrive.
And you don't want to do that over the peak season in the summer?
No, so I would head straight to Cairns. Either Cairns or Brisbane, because I know that there's lots of rural work over there, and it's also winter over there at that time, but then it's not too hot, and it's also not like the wet season or anything like that.
Because a lot of farm work is labour intensive.
Exactly.
So doing it in the heat.
Yeah. Oh.
One, it's harder, and two, you're missing out on all the beach weather and the beach life.
Exactly. So yeah, I would head there probably end of July, try to get a job by mid-August. Do that for 3 months, just get it over and done with. It's not the most exciting thing in the world. It's not the most woo way to start your gap year.
Do you think that could be a downer? Like if people don't enjoy it, and then that's how they start off their visa?
It could be, especially if you're not a super, I guess, confident person and you're anxious, or if you've just got really high expectations, because it's not going to be the wow start to your gap year. But just think
So at that point, you don't even know if you want to do your second year.
No, but obviously this would be
In the ideal situation.
Yeah, if it was me and I was looking back on myself, I would be like, I would want to do my second year after I finish uni.
Yeah.
And so
Sorry, I didn't mean to be negative. I was just
That's
like,
all right.
challenging what was going on.
I know, I like it. I like the challenge. So I'd get that 3 months done. Then with the money that I saved, because you do save a lot of money doing
I've
your
heard
rural
that.
work. Yeah,
It's really good pay.
Yeah, well, a lot of the time
Well,
it
not
is.
just in general Australia.
Yeah, generally in Australia the pay is really, really good, and whilst you're doing your rural work, you don't tend to go out too much. Like, it's pretty low key. Like, you're not spending too much basically, so you can save a lot of money. So even though I'd be saving a lot through college, you'd save so much more money just in that 3 months doing that rural work. And then I would use that money to travel Australia for probably about 2 weeks. The East Coast, I think I would do at that point, and like with the friends that you've made doing stuff. So that would take you round to like August, September, October. So November and December.
Oh yeah, you timed that well.
I'd do East Coast. Yeah. Then I would leave Australia and probably do about 3 to 4 months somewhere in Southeast Asia, maybe Thailand and Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, maybe even the Philippines. I still haven't been to the Philippines yet, but it is fast on the rise of becoming a really popular backpacker destination. So maybe I'd go there, but just 3 weeks Asia. I think then, this is so specific, I know.
I like it.
I'd go back to Australia and do about, so that brings us to like March, April. I do a few more months just working wherever I wanted.
And where would you choose to work? Is it in
Wherever
Australia?
I liked the most in my East Coast travel.
Yeah.
I think.
Give yourself that flexibility.
Yeah, because doing 2 months travel down the East Coast, that is quite fast, but it is enough time to see kind of each spot. And so I think I would gauge at the time, oh, I really want to work here. And I'd go back there and I'd work there for a few months.
And you can get the contacts as well. Make the connections face to face.
Yeah, and then obviously you're earning a little bit more money, topping up the bank account, and then I think I'd have like 1 month left at this point before starting uni. I mean, at this point some people might want to go home, but I would consider either travelling more of Asia if I didn't have all too much money, but if I still had if I'd made like a significant amount, I'd probably consider going to Fiji or New Zealand.
Yeah, whilst you're over that side of the world.
Whilst I'm over that side of the world, just travelling, just
New
somewhere
Zealand,
else.
you've got to do New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand's great. If you've got the money to do New Zealand, then I would definitely do that. And then it would be time for uni, and then I'd have my second year in the bag, so that when I finished uni, I can go work in Australia again if I wanted to. I thought about this, I really did. And it is quite similar to yours. I know you didn't go into as much detail. But
but I guess because you've worked there and you, I guess, know more specific.
I'm actually not too surprised that we've both said the same thing.
It is quite a popular thing to do, because
especially when you're 18 and you're younger. Those are generally the destinations that
Australia
people go
first,
to.
earn the money, travel a bit, use your holiday visa, and then go and spend the money in Asia because it goes so far and you can be like, live like a king. Off the money.
So we're not saying you have to do these things.
No.
These are just ideas, and we're just using our experience to come up with what we think is a good itinerary.
I guess we missed out, obviously we've stuck with those places. There is obviously America and South America.
Oh yeah, of course, there are so many other places.
For me, I think, even as an experienced traveller, South America and places like India, they're a little bit more daunting, particularly as a solo traveller. So they're the kind of places that once you've made connections, made friends, got travel buddies, it's something that you then do later on.
It's much more challenging if you want to be challenged and you want to...
Or if you just have a strong desire to go to that place.
Oh yeah, of course.
Have you worked in South America?
No, I travelled central, but I have not worked over there.
I don't even know how you'd even begin. Like, Australia is so well known. Like we've just recorded, start to finish, how to get your Australia working visa, because it is so popular. So many people are doing it, so it's just like an easy but amazing experience.
Yeah. So I hope you've got something from this video, if not just some ideas or inspiration, or even if you've finished uni and you're taking a gap year before starting work, this might help you out there as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like we just said, I filmed a bunch of videos with Molly. Links below, mostly beginner's guide to backpackings. Like we've done like beginner's guide to hostels if you've never stayed in the hostels before. Solo travelling on Molly's channel. We've just filmed about Australian working holiday visas. So loads of content there. If you're new to backpacking, new to travelling, you will enjoy those videos as well, I hope.
Yay! Hopefully we'll be back soon with some more videos, but I'm going to Australia and you're going to Australia, so we don't know when we're going to see each other.
We've got a lot more Australia content coming up, so if you're interested in more about that, just stay tuned on both of our channels. I don't know what the next video is going to be, but I'll see you then. Bye!